This whole thing is so complicated and I don't even know where to begin, but all I'm going to say is that my husband's mom and I have been on terrible terms to the point of no contact between us. My husband respected my decision to go no contact, but said that he's free to see his mum whenever, and I agreed because he says son and also he's a grown man, so I won't tell him where to go or who to see. However, it's a different game when it comes to my toddler son. I didn't let him go with his dad to visit her, and my husband was okay with that ever since I initiated no contact. However, his mom fell sick recently and her health has declined. So for days he's been convincing me to go see her and take our son with me, but I refused and asked him to respect that. He said it was fine, but then turned around and said he's planning on taking our son to see her. I gave him a hard no and he began fighting with me. Finally, he verbally lashed out, saying that if I keep refusing to let him take our son to see his dying mom, then he'll take him behind my back. I got so mad at him for saying this and warned him that I would call the police if he tried to pull that off. He wants to take him to another state without my consent. After that, he had a mental breakdown, calling me vicious, pathetic and vile for stopping our son from seeing his dying grandma, and then threatening with the police for wanting to do the right thing. I told him saying what he said was nowhere near okay. He responded by saying that I left him no choice and that he was reaching his limits with me. He had me leave the room after saying that he would no longer be putting up with my behavior, but I defended myself, telling him that his mom is no saint too and that it was unfair of him to treat me as the bad guy and wear me down with his words. He said it's between his mom and me, not her and our son. I walked out of the room, which was the last time we spoke. I don't think he was in the right to say what he did, and I might have pushed him, but I'm not sure since he keeps lashing out due to his mixed emotions and stress, but he's taking it out on me. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot for trying to use the police as a weapon to handle your disagreements. Calling the police won't do anything anyway. As long as he's the established dad and custody hasn't been revoked, the police can't stop him. Cops can't interfere on custody issues unless the one taking the kids can't legally be around the kid. 100% this. It's honestly disgusting for someone to do what OP is threatening to do. That is not how you handle an issue. It's a misuse of the police, and it sends a horrible message about how she is as a person. OP, it's his child too. He should have some say. Your son shouldn't be used as a chess piece to hurt his mother. Put your problems to the side for a moment, OP. Your disdain for that woman should not impact your son's relationship with his grandma. So from now on, if your husband says so, your parents can't meet your son too. Would you be okay with that? So if he doesn't want his son to meet your parents, you will have to accept it because you act the same. Shame on you because you have no right to act this way. He should break up with you and take half custody. That way you couldn't have a say anymore if he brought his son to see his dying mom. You are the idiot, OP, and an awful person. I wonder what the reason for no contact was. She went no contact because Grandma told her she makes bad parenting decisions and OP feels her authority was undermined. Considering OP thinks she can have her husband and father of the child arrested if the husband disobeys her, I think Grandma was right about OP. Okay, but can we talk about OP's husband for a bit? Because it seems to me that he never backed her up and is wildly in the fog. If his mother treated her horribly, undermined her parenting, and he just keeps going over there, he's basically sending the message that he chooses his mom over his wife. I don't know, but I'll go with you are the idiot. What does your son get out of this? Is he likely to want to see Grandma, or will this be traumatic for him? You are the idiot and you're out of your depth for threatening your partner and co-legal guardian of your son with the police. All your argument is you-based, and all your husband's arguments are him-based. Who's looking past their selfishness to consider what your son wants and needs? So I, 23 female, was born when my dad and mom were in their early or mid-20s. At that time, my dad was a wild partier who made many bad decisions. So after a few casual hookups, there I was. Mom and dad weren't exactly close, so I did most of the year with her and summers with him. Around the time I was probably 4 or 5 years old, Dad found religion and went back to his Baptist roots, which was great for him. Pretty soon after, he met a woman and had my 2 brothers. He also became a preacher and ran his own church, which has become pretty big and popular in this area of our rural southern state. So they started this thing a couple of years ago where every few months, another good Christian family would be highlighted and get their picture put up on the wall with everyone's names, ages, and little family facts. It was a pretty cute practice, I thought. Well, everyone picked my dad this time around, and at family dinner he told us about it and asked which picture we should use. I chimed in and said that we had a great one with all of us when we went hiking and took a selfie on the trail. It looked good and we were all grinning. Dad pulled me aside after and explained that they would have to use a picture without me in it. He reminded me I was born out of wedlock and was technically a bastard, and that his church was very judgmental and religious, so I couldn't be in the picture. Dad also made a point to say that I was a reminder of his wild days, and he doesn't want that bad light on his good name, since he's moved on into a Christ-following man. I tried to argue that I was part of the family either way and deserved to be highlighted, but he told me absolutely not. So when he asked little brother to send in the picture to the woman making the board, I asked him to submit the wrong picture. My brother sent in one where we were all together at the beach with my dad's arm around my shoulders. I was undeniably in the picture. I don't go to the church because I work weekends, but my brother said that some of the congregation asked about who I was in the photo, and my dad had to explain the situation afterward when my brother spoke up and said that I was his sister. That was a week ago. Dad called me the next day, furious and screaming. He said he knew what I did and said that it was selfish to destroy his reputation like that when I didn't even go to his church, and they didn't need to know who I was. I told him that I was part of the family either way, and that even if I didn't attend the church, they should know I'm his daughter, like they know my little brother who doesn't go. He told me off for bringing up his past mistakes and made me feel really horrible. Apparently, some of his church members were gossiping about him and me, and it was causing issues at the church. I didn't mean for it to go this far. Am I the idiot? You are not a mistake, and you didn't destroy his reputation. You corrected it to exactly where it should be. Not the idiot. If he hadn't already told his congregation about you and made sure that they knew he was still fulfilling his responsibilities as your father, then he missed a crucial part of Christ's message and was not being a good Christian. I feel like if Jesus could forgive Paul for persecuting Christians, then his church should be able to forgive your father for youthful indiscretions. Redemption is a big part of the Christian narrative. Of course, far too many Christians only follow the bits of the Bible that align with their own views. If he still wants to pretend you don't exist, he's a hypocrite. OP, they're not gossiping about you, they're gossiping about their preacher keeping members of his family secret from his congregation. Where I grew up, your congregation was your family too. Your dad's mad because he got found out for being shady. No one expects perfection, even his Lord. And you are part of the family, and he should be ashamed of himself for even treating you less than your brother just because you remind him of his wild days. You are still his daughter, and he needs to act like a better father towards you. He got himself in this situation, and he has no right to blame you for anything. I, female 24, have been seeing my boyfriend Martin, 30, for 8 months. He's super funny and sweet. He's currently out of a job for health reasons, but he's actively looking for a new job. This is our first major fight, and I'm unsure whether I was at fault here. 2 days ago, we spent the night together, and he went to the store early in the morning to buy some groceries. Unbeknownst to me, he took my credit card to shop with it. I got woken up by him calling asking me to give him my credit card PIN. I was confused. I asked why, and he said he went grocery shopping with my card and forgot to ask me to give him the PIN before he left. I got mad and felt quite violated. I told him I was sorry, but I did not give him permission for him to go out and shop using my card. He sounded confused and said he was just trying to buy us breakfast, and it only cost $20. Again, I said I was sorry but refused to give him the PIN number. He obviously sounded upset and asked why. I told him that he didn't consider getting my permission to take my card and use it. He said, "All right then, guess no breakfast for us," then hung up. I called and called but no response. He returned and handed me the card back, then complained about how he was just trying to buy us breakfast and that he didn't intend to make a huge purchase. I said I understood, but it's all about consent to me. He seemed pretty irritated and upset, though he said it was fine. He left after this and hasn't returned my calls. He then texted that he wasn't intending on stealing from me, and that he thought that I wouldn't make such a fuss about it, and that he did get my permission when he called to ask for the PIN, but I feel like it's just me feeling like he violated my boundaries. He's been upset since then, saying I ruined our time together by making a huge deal out of it and embarrassing him at the store by making him return the stuff he bought at the register. Gosh, I feel like I was such an idiot here, but I think that he could have asked first. Am I the idiot or not? Not the idiot. He is emotionally manipulating you. This is all on him. He took your card without your consent. That's the issue here. You're not obliged to share your PIN with anybody. If it's only $20, why didn't he pay for it? This man took advantage of you being asleep, stole from you, then decided to buy you breakfast by using your own money. I love the fact that he kept saying, "I wanted to buy us breakfast." No, she was buying the breakfast. He was using her money. Professional scammers will often test the waters by making small, innocuous purchases to see if they send up red flags before going for the big haul with the credit card company. OP, this is a major red flag. He wasn't doing anything for you, he was attempting to get something from you, access to your funds via manipulation. You cannot trust this man. Honestly, I'd cut and run. If you had given him the PIN, he would take your card for bigger purchases behind your back. He's just upset he's been caught. Not the idiot. That is theft, and you should call your bank and get a new card because he still had access to your credit number and the CVV digits on the card to proceed with online purchases. He is not trustworthy, and I'd break up with him instead of chasing him because he's upset. He showed you a bright red flag 8 months in. Take notice and run. I, 29, am a stay-at-home mom of 2 bio kids. Tween female, pre-tween male, and we take in foster children, as many as 3 at a time. My husband works full-time and I sell my art online. We have a decent income, we're not rich by any means, but we have a healthy amount of savings and investments. We own our home because I inherited it from my parents. The house has 6 bedrooms, 4 baths, and a finished basement. This is how we can take in so many foster children. We had some long-term placements reunite with their families in the last year. I was thrilled for them, but heartbroken as well. I didn't let it show to the kiddos, and we still have contact with all our fosters. We paused our fostering for 8 months because of the emotional aspect, but we finally felt ready to start again. We took in 2 children last month around the bio kids' ages. They get along great. We've had a few behavioral issues, but nothing worrying. It's natural for children to test in a new environment. We treat every child in our house equally, the same access to things, the same food, barring allergies and preferences, the same number of chores, not much, and the same expectation for school progress. I have time and was a former teacher, so I make sure everyone learns in the best way for them. My husband and I planned a Disney trip before looking to foster again. It's all paid for, and we leave in a month. The bio kids know. The issue is that I'm not allowed, per their social worker, to take the foster children with us. So they would both miss out on a once-in-a-lifetime vacation, and while we're gone, they'd be moved to a group or respite home until we're back. A huge disruption to their routine and their peace. I say we cancel our trip until they're reunited with their family or placed in a better program for them. My husband says that it's not fair for our bio kids to miss vacation, and it's okay for them to have just us as a family. While I agree that it's important to make our bio kids feel special and connected to us, my heart is broken for our foster children who would otherwise not have this opportunity. My kids have been to Disney twice and go on vacations all the time. I'm not sure what the right answer to this is. Would I be the idiot if I cancelled our family vacation because our foster children couldn't come? Or would I be the idiot if we went and left our foster children behind? I think it's better to cancel this trip. Those foster kids need you to stay more than your bio kids need to go. Your kids have been there before and can go again another time. This won't cause any lasting damage. However, your foster children face more disruption, which could cause further emotional trauma. I don't see how it's worth it. What you're doing for your foster kids is amazing. However, you are right in worrying that moving them would be detrimental, but completely cancelling vacation might not be the best idea either. It can cause your bio kids to be angry and resentful that you cancelled vacation because your foster kids couldn't come. Kids that age are not mature enough to understand your concerns. Instead, you can have a change of plans. OP, your solution is very stark, however. The real solution is staring at your face. You need to send dad with the bio kids and stay home with the foster kids. You both took on the responsibility, but it doesn't mean all of you have to miss the fun. Plan a great in-state trip for you and foster kids at the same time. Rent a hotel room so they can play in the pool 24/7. My girlfriend's best friend is staying with us as she's just visiting from out of town. I know she's always resented me a bit for whatever reason. I honestly don't know why, but I've learned to just stay out of her way. Of course, we'll talk when my girlfriend is around, but I don't think we've ever even had a conversation when she isn't around us. She's staying for a week and it's been relatively fine, literally zero problems for the first day. I like to take showers every night after the day is over, which is where the problem began. Our guest washroom is out of service. The bathtub works, but it's dusty and no one has touched that thing in who knows how long, so we all have to share the master bed's washroom in the meantime. I was taking a shower, and when I came out, she ran in and accused me of using her loofah because it was wet. I had no words. I didn't even realize it was in there until she made a fuss about it. She smelt the loofah and then smelt my body wash and said it smelt the same. I didn't even know what to say besides I didn't use it. She said even then it weirded her out that I was showering while her loofah was in there. My girlfriend tried mediating and told her to take out the loofah while I showered. She told me to use the bath in the broken washroom, and I said no because it's dirty as heck, and I'd have to spend at least an hour to get all the grime out of that thing. My girlfriend and her BFF talked in a separate room, and when she came back, she just asked me to hold off on showering for a week. LMFAO. Yeah, right. I told her BFF she could leave if I made her feel so uncomfortable, and she did. She packed her things and left. My girlfriend was mad at me. She said that she was our guest, and yes, maybe she was a bit too much, but it was valid to be uncomfortable about the loofah situation. So she tried calling her friend and she didn't pick up once. What was I supposed to do in that situation? Yeah, maybe I could have cleaned out the bathtub in the guest washroom, but I don't understand why I have to inconvenience myself that much just to make her friend happy. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Her friend is insane to smell your body and the loofah. What? I have no idea how that could make someone uncomfortable. It sounds like she just seriously doesn't like you, unfortunately. Like, seriously, what is wrong with her? You don't just stroll up to your friend's house, be invited in as a guest, and then start telling them how to do things or what they can do and when they can do it. What the heck? Does your girlfriend and her BFF not know that water splashes, and when the shower's on, everything in the shower gets wet? Not showering for a week to appease a guest is a ridiculous situation, but I think you should take her up on it anyway and see how she appreciates sleeping next to a person who hasn't showered for 7 days. She's totally entitled and ungrateful, also not willing to listen to anything else but her pre-formed opinion. Besides, what were you supposed to do about the loofah? Ask? Remove it? She probably would have thrown a fit as well. Also, why doesn't she use the other bathroom if she's so uncomfortable? Your girlfriend is also an idiot. Why did she stand up for a loofah over you?